Hello oil lovers, this is Desiree Mangandog, author of I Am Fabulous book. Please check that out if you don't have it already. I am here to talk about Copaiba today. I'm sure some of you are very excited to hear about my thoughts on the new oils, and I've been a bit sensitive about that, a little gentle, because these essential oils that doTERRA released are intense. So if you've been going through a roller coaster of emotions as you have been using the new essential oils, you're not alone, and there's a reason why. So I'm just going to talk about Copaiba today, just to kind of break you through and know what to expect with this essential oil. So one of the things that Copaiba does is, hey guys, it helps you to unroot, like from the root, pull out some of your most deep-seated issues, especially issues that you've had in your childhood, issues you've had with your parents, for example. Now, for me, this is what happened to me, and I'm gonna be just totally honest with you. I used it, and then I had a mental breakdown for about 2 days. So if you're using this and you're wondering what is going on with your life, this is why. So I was reenacting a pattern that I had about my mother. How my mother wasn't very physically available. She was financially available because she was at work all the time, but not physically. And so I was very angry as a young child because I didn't have the attention and the love that I wanted. And so then as a result, I felt very unloved, and that I don't matter, and that I don't feel appreciated. Now, obviously, that stuff is not true, because my mother does love me, and she is very proud of me, and that is the truth. But as a child, right, we interpret things in our own ways, and sometimes those interpretations are not actually accurate. They're not accurate at all. So when I used Copaiba, like, there was a person in my life that I was having some tension with, and it was so hilarious. I was like angry, I was yelling, I was raging, and then crying. So there's some crying that happens with this too. And basically imposing like my issue that I had with my own mother and put it on this other person, and basically like made that person my mother. And which obviously isn't fair and isn't accurate and isn't true. But it was wonderful. I was able to have a great conversation with that person, but it wasn't in a place of like yelling and blaming and shaming and all of that. I was able to process it myself and see it. That's the cool part. It's like sometimes we react to people or situations in our life without thought as to why we're reacting that way. But Copaiba helps you to actually see what it was. I was so apparent. I was like, oh my goodness, this is my issue with my mother. It was so apparent. So I have resolved that issue on such huge levels that other essential oils could not touch. That's why Copaiba is extremely special. This is a very, very special oil. So with that being said, I want to teach you how to use Copaiba wisely, right? And so that this experience is not so traumatic and that you're like just a basket case for a week. I don't want you to go through that. So I call this like the Copaiba plunge, all right? So if you're ready for this, and I encourage you, if you're ready for change, to do it. Don't be afraid of it. I am going to give you supporting essential oils on what to use so that this is not so intense and not so difficult. That rather than it being like a 4 or 5 day meltdown, maybe it's a 1 day meltdown. And maybe your meltdown will be, maybe half of like what I went through, because what I went through was horrendous. So what you're gonna do with Copaiba is take some drops, all right? And then I want you to get it down your whole spine as much as you can. If you can't reach certain areas, no big deal, just reach what you can, or maybe you can have somebody in your home help you to get it, maybe like 3 to 5 drops depending on how tall your torso is. So getting that on the spine. I also recommend getting it on your chest, so over the lung space, okay? Getting it on your chest, maybe even your throat. And then lastly, getting it on the inside of your elbow creases. So I may have another round of this since I am just dousing myself with Copaiba. Now, here is the kicker. This is what you want to follow up with to make sure that this isn't so difficult, okay? You're going to need some helichrysum. If you've watched any of my previous videos or been to my workshops, I talk about the value of helichrysum for forgiveness and healing the heart, okay? So that you can release that pain and let it go permanently. So you're gonna follow it up with helichrysum and then also juniper berry. Juniper berry is great for releasing fears. So it's a bit unnerving, you know, diving into that. So these two are gonna calm you down. They're gonna calm you down and make this a graceful process. So how you're going to use it is get a drop of each after you do the Copaiba. Now you can go ahead and use these two oils ongoing if necessary, all right? If you want to add a little ling ling, you can do that too. And then just rub them together, and I want you to just cup over your nose and inhale these oils for about, I would say, a solid minute at least. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole minute here with you. But, you know, the rest you can go ahead and just put it wherever. You can put it on the back of your neck and your chest and all of that. But definitely inhale the helichrysum and the juniper berry for a solid minute. Awesome. So, and then drink plenty of water when you're going through these huge purges and these emotional detoxes and, you know, traumatic events that are coming to the surface. You've got to drink a lot of water. It's going to help to clear it out. You may get more thirsty than normal. And then the other thing that I encourage you to do is to take an Epsom salt bath every night until you feel like you've worked through all of it, because it's the doozy. Okay? So don't be afraid of it. Be brave, be bold, go do it, because once you've uncovered that and dealt with it, oh, the freedom is spectacular. I have been able, as a result, I have been able to make better decisions about things, right? Rather than, oh, you know, because I used to care so much about what people thought about me. That's why I made that previous video. Do you have the guts to be you? I always betrayed like who I was to make sure everybody's happy. And even though I didn't want to do something, I would do it. That was me. I grew up that way my whole life. I was such a people pleaser. And I see that in so many other people as well. So that's something that's near and dear to my heart. And that's why I share these topics with you. So I promise you, after you do the Copaiba plunge, you will have this sense of confidence and certainty and clarity that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So play with it, have fun with it, and totally share the testimonials in the comments page as you do it. So give yourself, you know, a couple of days. I'm hoping with the helichrysum and the juniper berry, you're not going to go through so much intense emotions for more than a couple of days. If for some reason it's going beyond a couple of days, then feel free to reach out to me. I'll help you and support you, okay? So enjoy it, love you all, and I will be back on again with all the other oils. I'm thinking the next one, neroli, all right? Neroli. Start using it. Love you all, bye.